Question: has peer pressure ever gotten to you? Today, I want to share with you some information on something that's a little bit different. And this is overcoming peer pressure. Here on Inspiring Change for a Better You. So, we're talking about overcoming peer pressure. One of my tweets that I put out the other day. Oh, by the way, you can check out my tweets on @ChrisBrown, Brown with an E, 23, @ChrisBrown23, right? Follow me. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. One of the tweets that I put out the other day was this: if saying no makes you unfavorable, then why would you want to say yes? I'll say it again. If saying no makes you unfavorable, then why would you want to say yes? Now, think about that. We're talking about avoiding peer pressure, handling peer pressure. Think about this. If you're one of those people who just feels like you need to go with the crowd because that's where they're going, because of the peer pressure, let me tell you something. In a while, later on, that crowd is going to go in another direction. They're going to go in another place and they're going to mature, hopefully, and move on from where they are at their time. And guess what? You'll be left shipwrecked. No direction, nowhere to go. So, it is better to avoid being around those who are going to give you peer pressure. Because if you're going to say yes, because it's going to make you unfavorable with them, then you are going to be pretty unfavorable with yourself. You will not feel good doing the things you do or agreeing with the things that you're agreeing with them if that's not what you truly believe. You've got to be authentic to yourself. Be true to yourself. Because when you're true to yourself, you will find and others will gravitate towards you, and that you don't need to follow the crowd. You see, when we talk about peer pressure, automatically we think of schools. We think of children being bullied or going direction. Now, these children are still finding who they are, but it doesn't stop there. It actually happens in the workplace as adults as well. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be stubborn. Going to the meeting, I'm not going to go with that group and da-da-da-da. Hey, listen, that's not the way. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about self-respect. I'm talking about knowing who you are. I'm talking about having an opinion. And I'm also talking about self-love. Because if you don't have a goal, if you don't have an opinion, if you're afraid to talk of your opinion, someone else is going to speak it for you. Have you ever been in that situation where something has happened and a group are talking and they say, we believe da-da-da. You don't believe that. You don't believe that, but you didn't have the guts to speak up because you didn't want to be unfavorable. Now, listen, this has to stop here today. When you finish watching this video, I want you to think about yourself. I want you to think about who you are, what is your original goals, and getting back to that authenticity of yourself. So, if you realize that you are in a situation of peer pressure, you got to think of, how am I going to get out of it? Because tomorrow is a brand new day, and that day from this moment could be the rest of your life. Yes, the rest of your life. So you got to think, how am I going to move out of this situation? You got to plan an exit. You don't have to go where they go. You don't have to do what they do. Peer pressure it's a way of molding everybody into one mold with one person in agreement. Everybody's saying, yes, that's the way we need to go. Right? So You got to think, how are you going to get out of the situation? What are you going to do? It's time for you to start exiting that sort of circumstance, that sort of crowd, and where you are. Okay, so we got to think about avoiding peer pressure too. Avoiding it. I smelled peer pressure over there. I think I need to go the other way. Let me tell you something. There are some in that crowd who've seen you walk another direction, and they're still in that position of peer pressure as well. Sooner or later, they will leave that crowd too, and they'll probably come and follow you. Not saying you want followers and all that, but just saying you standing and making a difference is going to help others who haven't got the strength to make that difference too. You don't need to be around those who are going to put peer pressure on you. I don't know how many times I said that word. Here we go. Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. It's time to stop. It's time to reevaluate your goals. It's time to gain that self-respect. And as I said before, that's self-love. I'm Coach Chris Brown. This is Inspiring Change for a Better You. If you found this video useful, or you know someone that this will be useful for, I'd like you to share it with them. Subscribe. Also, when you subscribe, ring that bell. See you in the next video.